Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the transition to employment from school, and it's one of the topics of conversation that when we've spoken to parents all around the country, this has been one of the hardest conversations to have with young adults and teenagers entering into adulthood. So I'm going to share a little bit of our learnings with you and some of our tips around how to perhaps approach this particular topic. So we talk to a lot of young people all the way around Australia, and we have got together their stories, and we've created almost a persona of the young autistic adult in Australia. This is Ted. Ted's on the autism spectrum. He is 17 and he's in his last year of school. And Ted hasn't really started thinking about what he wants to do when he finishes school. He's really smart. He's brilliant on the computer. He has got a brilliant array of Jackie Chan movie quotes that people don't seem to appreciate. And Ted really doesn't know what's going to happen after Year 12 finishes. His parents have tried to speak to him. It's not a conversation he's wanted to have. He doesn't use public transportation independently. His mum takes him around everywhere. And when school finishes, he finds that the few friends he did have at school, he no longer sees now. He can't move around beyond his neighbourhood because he doesn't drive or use public transportation. And he doesn't really have a purpose every day. He spends a lot of time in his bedroom playing computer games, and he's becoming more and more socially isolated. And a year on, Ted's in his bedroom, continues to be socially isolated, no job prospects, and he's starting to get quite depressed. When we told this story around the country, people nodded in agreement and said, that's us, that's our child, that's the young person that I'm working with. So it's a difficult conversation to have. Young people on the spectrum are less likely to be able to get employment than their typically developing peers, neurotypical peers, and also other young people with a disability. And this results in a risk of labour force and social exclusion, like Ted was experiencing, and also poorer mental health outcomes for these young people. And when we look at some of the, sorry, my computer's going very slowly. Goodness me. When we look at some of the principles for assisting these young people, we've got 5 basic principles for successful transition. We developed the Boost Day, or the Better Outcomes and Successful Transitions for Autism, as part of several years of research. And we talked to young people all around the country, and we developed a transition planning tool to assist them to plan and prepare for that move into adulthood and into employment. We've had over 100 young people trial the Boost Day, and we've had overwhelming feedback that it's a feasible tool to use, which means that it's simple to use, it's available freely for them. And what we found is that young people who use the Boost Day were able to improve their self-determination, or their feeling that they were able to take control and charge of planning for their future. There's 5 principles. The first one is to focus on the big picture. And this is really, really important. Focusing on the big picture is difficult for young people on the autism spectrum because they haven't really experienced things into the future. And so it's hard for them to imagine what that's going to look like. So it's about having a discussion, talking about what work brings beyond just a paycheck, but being able to meet new people and socialise, an opportunity to become financially independent, as well as being the opportunity to develop skills and have a sense of value or a purpose in life. And this is really, really important. So the only way to try and assist young people on the spectrum to understand what work is going to be like is to immerse them in it. And there are some opportunities for them to do that even while they're at school. And so some of those real world opportunities might be around planning and trialing a work experience. It might also be encouraging them to take up a hobby, look at doing some volunteering, really opportunities where they're focused on completing a task and where they have to interact with others as part of those activities. The second principle is encourage the young person to dream big. Research shows that young people are more likely to succeed when they're surrounded by others who believe that they're going to do well and encourage them to aim high. And even if the young person doesn't reach their absolute exact target or goal, they're still going to end up further ahead. One of the things that we can do is to help them break down big goals into small manageable steps to get some of those quick successes, because nothing fosters success like success. And if you're finding that you're not getting any wins on the board and there's just not any of those successes, then rethink what the goals are. Are you looking at trying to achieve a goal at the right time and provide the just right challenge? Sometimes if the goal is too big, too hard, it might not. You're not going to get those successes, and it can become a little demoralizing. Principle number 3 is keep the young person at the center of transition planning. And this is really, really important because they need to be included in all planning and decision making for their life after school, because it helps them to develop those self-advocacy skills for once they do leave school and want to transition into work, and help them to keep focusing on the positives. And getting involved can be difficult. So if they're going to a transition planning meeting, some of the things that they can do is to perhaps, you can look at keeping those meetings short and kind of work to an action-oriented agenda so that it's really clear what's going to be achieved in this particular transition planning meeting. The young person might be able to attend the meetings either in person, or they might be able to, just as I am today, come in virtually, and that way they can mute themselves or put their camera off as needed. They might not speak in the meetings, they might just do some instant messaging. They might have others speak on their behalf, and they might need to use some sensory tools, maybe a fidget spinner or something else to help manage their anxiety during the meeting. Principle number 4 is to have a champion on the team, and this is really important because every young person needs a champion to help them achieve their goals, and the champion might advocate for them, connect them with other people who can help them with planning and finding meaningful work, or just to be a mentor. Ideally, it would be wonderful to have a mentor who is an older person who's on the autism spectrum, who's got some of those lived experiences. A champion might be a health professional, it might be a teacher. Parents have often said they want to be champions for their parents, but sometimes they feel like nobody's listening to them as parents, and they don't feel they have that agency. But regardless, whoever the champion is going to be, they need to encourage that young person to use a growth mindset and to play to their strengths. It's to look at what can you do well and to build on from there. And the last principle, but by no means in order of importance, is to start early. And the ideal time to start planning for transition for life after school is actually around year 9. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, we've missed that, don't worry. The next best time to start is right now, because the sooner we can engage the young people into thinking about what lies ahead for them and what this might look like, the more chance they're going to be successful. But as I said, starting the conversation can be hard. We've developed Boost Day, which is an online tool, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it quickly. There are 4 modules. The first one is about me, and it's about getting the young person to start to identify their interests, their strengths, their work preferences, and their life skills. That life skills might be things like catching public transportation or preparing a meal or able to get themselves dressed and out the door in the morning. there might be a whole lot of life skills that they need to develop in order to be able to be successful in a work experience or in the workplace. Module 2 is getting a team together, because it's really important that that young person has got people to support them. The team at a minimum should be the young person and their champion, a parent if that's appropriate, and sorry, I've forgotten these slides. It should be a parent and, if appropriate, and the young person should be attending that meeting in whatever way that they can. The Boost Day sends out a summary of the goals and then the new meeting goals for the next week and the next time for the next meeting. Section 3 is the My Goals section, and the Boost Day recommends some job ideas and some goals. And the most important goals relate to life skills, so looking at social groups, social skills groups, transportation training or money management. Some of those real life experiences we talked about, volunteering, work experience and mentoring. And it's important that people are allocated to those tasks related to those goals. So it's all action oriented. Somebody knows that there's something they need to do before the next time the group gets together to discuss the young person's progress. And at that meeting, it's time to book the next meeting. Section 4 of the Boost Day is My Progress. And young people on the autism spectrum can benefit from seeing their tangible progress. And there are visuals which are provided in the Boost Day program, but you can do this in any way that you want to with them, whether it be some kind of a progress chart or some other kinds of badges or rewards, whatever it is that they can see that they're moving forward. It's very important to frame any difficulties that they experience as part of the transition planning process, not as failures, but as experiences, because this promotes a growth mindset for them. So rather than thinking, I can't do this, this is something I will never be able to do, and it's because of who I am that I'll never achieve this, the growth mindset gives them the opportunity to think, well, I can learn to do anything if given the opportunity and the support to do it. Challenges will help me to grow, and my effort and my attitude determine my abilities. And any feedback that I get, if given properly, is constructive, and that's something that they can learn from. And it gives them that opportunity to start thinking about, I want to try new things, which can be difficult. So the Boost Day, as I said, it's an online tool. If you'd like to, afterwards, you can watch a short video about the Boost Day. If you've got your phone with you right now and you can set it to camera mode, you can take a shot of the QR code there, and that's going to take you to a YouTube video link. It's about a 5-minute video that'll give you some more information about the Boost Day. You'll hear a little bit about how useful it was from 3 young people on the autism spectrum who used the Boost Day, as well as their teachers and parents. Or you can copy the link that's down there into your computer's browser, and you can watch a little bit more about it. The Boost Day is going to be housed on a new platform called MyWay Employability, and MyWay Employability will be coming soon. There's going to be a nationwide launch of MyWay Employability. We're planning that for late 2019. It's going to be a mobile app that you can use on your phone or a tablet, and it's designed for young people on the spectrum, and it uses all of the research and all of the discussions we've had with these amazing young people and their families around the country have been part of the development of MyWay Employability. It'll include the career exploration and goal setting tool using the Boost Day. So all of the elements of the Boost Day will be there. It'll provide the young person and the people supporting them with information on things about how to choose career pathways to start exploring, to find out what's needed, what studies they might need to do, how to perhaps get to wherever they need to be going, whether it's TAFE or uni, as Rebecca said, or to a work experience. Catching public transportation can be really stressful, so there'll be some hints there around how to do that, including access to the Orient Trip app, which has been designed specifically for people on the autism spectrum. and also linking them to other mainstream services who can provide support around a number of different areas, whether it be around helping them to manage their mental health, or finding a driving school who might be able to assist them with getting a license, or with finding a work experience and support at the workplace. So have a look for MyWay Employability towards the end of the year. If you'd like to be on the mailing list for the launch, please do send me an email, and we can send you information on how it's going to be available to you. But we're very excited that the Boost Day is going to be available as part of a larger online service